saved us.
Time to get out of here.
I can guide you to one of my old hideouts. You can use it to make your escape. The ward still in place there will shield you all from Elganon's sight.
Solus, thank you. Let's go! Let's go! Run! Run!
It's tough being a Venatori. It was their duty to secure the sacrifices. It was their duty to ensure the ritual went perfectly. But despite all their efforts, Elganon was disappointed. The cult would do anything to please their gods. The cult would give anything to atone. Anything. It really is tough being a Venatori.
We'd lost all hope, and then...
And then you swooped in out of nowhere to save us.
he would have killed us to feed his dragon.
Indeed. Masaranus, Nethalon.
Weird as it sounds, we couldn't have done it without the God of Lies.
The sun rises until it doesn't. Celebrate the victories as they come. They're rare enough.
And tomorrow, we'll have to deal with another archdemon.
And it will have regained its strength. Elganon sacrificed his own Venatori to it, a punishment for their failures. The Venatori who escaped scurried back to Deventer. If the Venatori move again, the Shadow Dragons will hear about it first. The Veil Jumpers will fight our own battles against the gods. Any help you can offer would be appreciated.
Might be a good time to see what Solus thinks of all this.
This smells amazing. Does all coffee smell like this? Or just the stuff you make?
Coffee has a distinct aroma, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry. It was really rare where I grew up. And expensive.
Try everything once. That's what I say.
I want to, but sometimes I just like having what I like.
Nothing wrong with that. So, Harding, what do you think?
It's... delicious.
You don't have to pretend to like it.
I mean, it's good. It's nice and... warm.
Rook's right. You don't have to pretend. I won't be upset if you don't like coffee.
You really wouldn't.
I know, but... sorry. It's just this thing I do sometimes.
Acting so people will like you?
It sounds terrible when you say it like that. I know I don't need to do it. I just do.
Well, everyone you know seems to like you, so you're good.
Good job, Lace.
You must have been pretty tiny as a child.
Where'd that come from?
A tiny dwarven girl in a land of large human farmers.
Oh, yeah. I probably learned pretty quick that things worked out better if people liked me. If they agreed with me, or I agreed with them.
Some people like cream or sugar in their coffee.
Maybe coffee just isn't my thing.
There's something I need to do, back home.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just chasing Aelia. It brings a lot up. If you're around, maybe. I'd take the company.
Sure thing, Nev.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
I suspect them calling Elganon and Gillenane and all the rest gods didn't go over well with you.
Indeed. To see that the history the Dalish worked so hard to preserve was the propaganda of tyrants was vexing. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. Hard to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You and Elganon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him. But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
He uses his power to crush any opposition?
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
Last time I got his attention, he got angry enough to come after us with the blighted dragons. Hopefully this baits him into a mistake we can use against him.
Every act of resistance is a thorn in his side. He will break soon. When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I'm impressed you got that out without choking on it.
If I could not admit when I was wrong, I would be no better than Elganon. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
Except for Inquisitor Llewellyn.
I said that I resolved to do so, not that I succeeded. She is a good woman. Growing close to her was selfish of me.
Do you regret it?
I live with countless regrets. Some of them I have grown to cherish more than my victories.
Thank you for sharing that. So, what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganan's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elgernon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
The odds on this were never good, but we've already beaten them once. We have a job to finish, and 2 gods to kill. We don't get to wallow and whine because no one else is taking this fight.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before. Not without help, we didn't. So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elgernon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Today could have gone better, but it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up and be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since?
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know. Myrna, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far
We
behind.
have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
I hate to say it, but it's sort of clever.
Johanna was never short on cleverness. But we found her.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
That can't be fun.
I'd hoped it would pass. Oh, Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Well, a little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
The Evenurers do not need, they only demand. Deny them. The fires are lit.
Not good. Not even a little bit. Rook, we have to go. We might already be too late.
Slow down. What's happening?
The artifact. Remember how I told you that I'd know if they started another ritual? They did, and it's big. Really, really big. Arlethan big, maybe.
You're sure?
Completely. Nothing else explains that resonance.
Like I said before, Balara, we stop Syrian. However we have to.
The resonance just happened. We might still be able to stop them.
Might isn't good enough.
If we catch them early enough, before they've had a chance to align the crystals.
And if they've had the chance?
These rituals need an anchor, with a physical body, so not a spirit or whatever Anaris is, which means Syrian. and there's only one way to free an anchor.
Then let's not waste any time. Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
Oh, I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
You can talk to your friends about it. I hear that helps.
It's already helping. You checking on me, I mean. I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
I know you would have done the same for me.
You helped me remember who I was. Not some Titan, but just Lace Harding. And yes, if you ever need me like I needed you, I will be there. That is my promise to you. You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. But do you think he can be helped?
Solus took this path because he thinks he has no choice. But the Inquisitor believes there is another way for him. For them. She could save him, if he would just let her. No one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
I made a fresh pot and... that's Rook's Walk.
Yeah, just me. You brought Nev coffee?
I brought an excuse. Spite thought I should talk to her. Well, not just Spite, but I'm only good with knives.
You made pie.
Gooseberry. You made it twice.
It was nothing. You're not chiming in?
Nope.
Well, you have the coffee, and you probably have a case or something, so...
I don't need pie, but you remembered my favorite. You find me at midnight just to talk. Maybe I like that. Maybe I like...
Really?
Right, I think you got this.
You know I won't make your life easy. I don't make anything easy.
But you do make it better.
Well, don't use your charm all at once.
I have more than that. I hope.
Hey, Hassan.
Rook, Efka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendale with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendale.
Agreed. Thanks.
You miss, Warden.
Dogs.
Take a look.
All right, then.
Hey, Antoine. Evka.
I can still hear it. Though it is giving me a headache.
Please be careful.
With the container? It's very sturdy. I tested it.
What? When? And how?
Am I interrupting?
No. Our study of the new blight continues.
We know the gods changed the blight. We think it changed more than they realized, or altered itself after.
It's answering to something other than gods.
It's still spreading, and it's still killing people. Seems our job is the same.
At least the part that matters.
So what's the blight answering to?
Remember the strange call I heard after the Lavendale battle? It was here, in the wetlands.
We think the source is out a ways, towards the redoubt.
I can tell it's something large, rooted. A construct of the blight itself. An eruption controlling the rest. What that could mean. Everything that calls the blight impacts the wardens. We withstand it. But gods, archdemons, it all adds strain.
If the eruption calls the blight, then it could mess with us too. Spark the calling sooner. We'll lose ourselves, along with the wetlands.
Antoine, you hear whispers in the blight. More than me and Evka. Are you...
Yes. A little sensitive, but it's not calling to me. Not yet. Like everyone else, I'll know when that changes.
So, how do I help?
Figured you'd be in. Remember those samples you found when we first arrived? Based on our studies, Antoine made an alchemical flame. It's impressive. It should destroy the eruption.
Theoretically. At least the last batch was stable. Mostly.
But if the eruption's controlling the blight and it gets attacked, then the blight around Lavendel might respond.
Yes, its roots are everywhere. And spreading. I can feel them.
These people can't lose their blight experts. I can go after the eruption.
While we guard against nasty side effects here.
I'll make sure the whole thing burns.
Good.
The blight poisons so much. Water, plants, animals, people. Some would call the wetlands dead already. But they're not. It's not too late. Whatever the eruption means for the Wardens, we can leave this place better. It's what we're supposed to do.
We'll take our stand in the sheltered glade. Meet us there when you're done.
Lucas Kreisen, one of our own. He left on his calling months ago, then stumbled back in last night.
Wardens don't come back from the calling.
No, this is the first I've heard of.
The long walk into darkness. Whispers of the old gods, drawing wardens down into the deep roads.
Never to be heard from again.
Until now.
Have you met him before?
In passing, yes, but no more. He spent most of his time in the eastern garrisons, and then left for his calling.
That's one tough warden.
I've never heard of this before. Someone coming back.
Except the Gloom Howler. Warden Kreisen, can you talk? What happened?
The dead aren't dead.
Who isn't?
The Deep Roads. The elf wants vengeance. She's planning a crusade.
Isaiah. A crusade against who?
Grey Wardens. All of us.
She's welcome to come up here and try.
Soon. She's gathering her forces. Griffins are there. How much time?
Lucas?
Antoine, I need to know where he came out of the deep roads. It's time we flush the sewers. This is it, where Warden Kreisen came back from his calling. Easy, boy.
He senses darkspawn.
That, and the Griffins. This is your time, boy. You're ready for this. Hunt. Don't go getting a big head, boy. I mean it. You watch those tail feathers of yours. The second you feel Darkspawn breathing on them, you hide.
Why would this Gloom Howler?
Isaiah.
So why would Isaiah bring the other Griffins to the Deep Roads?
She was a Grey Warden. Last anyone heard, she disappeared down here.
After using blood magic on her own griffins.
And she's still at it. The Archdemon blood she took from the cauldron? That's the end of Hassan's family if we don't stop her.
What's your name, Warden?
What is this place?
Sanctuary.
It reeks of darkspawn and blight.
Embrace it, and it will embrace you. The calling is not the end for Grey Wardens. Will you join us?
Join what exactly?
Those who hear the song of the old gods.
You're supposed to be killing Darkspawn, not living with them.
She showed us another way.
Is she a Seer?
Names fade. The song endures. Will you join us?
Whatever you're doing down here, it isn't part of any vows I took.
The vows say we kill monsters like this.
Didn't have to be this way.
Only true believers shall pass.
You're a warden. Keep your oath.
Wise house shall never fall.
What are you talking about?
Our blades defend the world.
I'm not used to fighting our own.
What does this say you've done to them?
I don't know. The blight's taken hold. Hassan, you okay? Good. You're doing fine.
Where are we anyway? Doesn't look like the deep roads I know.
They're building something down here. It's almost like... Nah.
Like what?
A corrupted version of Weishaupt.
Darkspawn at the bridge!
Sean, let him have it!
Darkspawn!
And Wardens.
Fighting together?
Warden, what's wrong? Oh, Weishaupt.
You conspire with fiends of darkness? I'm out of this, Wardens. You say it's evil, you're bumbling a monster.
They really are building some sort of fortress, like Weishaupt, but wrong.
Even blighted, they must still remember being Grey Wardens.
Old memories linger. Echoes of them anyway. Twisted by Isaiah.
First Warden.
Rook, I'm never to be rid of you.
All this going on and I'm the problem.
You started the whole bloody mess.
How did you wind up here?
Gillenane did her worst. Then she found me.
The Gloom Howler? Isaiah?
Nothing will stop me. We'll defend Weishaupt to the death.
Weishaupt? You mean this place?
It stood for centuries. None will breach its defenses.
Weishaupt was destroyed. You're not First Warden anymore. Stand down, sir.
What treachery is this? Send reinforcements to the North Wall. Rally on my signal.
What are you talking about?
The Griffins will repel these invaders.
Where are they? What did you do with them?
Stop questioning my orders, Warden! 50 lashes for insubordination!
He's just like the others. He's too far gone.
What do we do?
Set him free. Even he deserves some mercy.
Only way to free these wardens is by killing them. They aren't themselves.
They managed to rebuild the war room.
Isaiah's raised her army. Now the war starts.
Maps here. All across Thedas. Looks like battle plans.
Isaiah's ambitious. I'll give her that.
Found a blueprint for Weishaupt. The real one.
Must have used it to build this place. Hassan! Where are you, boy? Stay safe! We'll find you! I don't believe it.
No. Weishaupt's dungeon.
That's something. Not a good something.
I might have spent a few nights there.